AAA Texas has a special event focusing on teen drivers.
Daniel Ambruster joins us with the details. Welcome.
Thank you very much, yes.
So Daniel, the event is called AAA Texas Teen Driver Safety Fair. So why does AAA decide to focus on this particular set of drivers?
Well, this is the 5th year we're doing this event at Lively Point Youth Center, and this is a very important event because teen drivers, we're seeing more and more of them killed in car crashes each year on our roads. And in fact, last year alone, 3,500 people lost their lives in a crash where a teen driver was involved in that crash.
That is a stunning statistic. I had no idea that it was that high.
Yeah, it's actually pretty alarming, and one of the reasons we see, of course, distracted driving is a problem. We also see drowsy driving, but we also see teens not wearing their seatbelts and also impaired. Drinking and driving is still a big problem. In fact, last year about 17% of drivers aged 15 to 19 were involved in a fatal crash, had been drinking. So 17%, that's still pretty high.
Okay, that's really alarming too. So since I asked that question, can I say thank you AAA Texas for calling attention to it? Because we want everybody to be safe on our roads. And if you target this particular audience, maybe you guys will really have a good effect. Yeah.
Well, AAA has sponsored this event for quite a few years. And so what do you plan to do this coming year?
Well, we're going to have several guests. In fact, we're going to have the Irving Police and Fire Departments there on hand, and we thank them for being a part of this and helping to educate teens. They're going to have fatal vision goggles, the course there, and other demonstrations, as well as we're going to have text out there. They're going to have a simulator to show teens why it's so dangerous to text and drive. Also, we'll have games, we'll have vendors there as well, and the Dallas County Sheriff will be there. She will be one of our guest speakers, as well as Miss Outstanding Teen Texas, or Miss Texas Outstanding Teen. Yes, so
Right,
exciting to have Stephanie Went here as well. I know that's something that a lot of teens will talk about, and she's going to talk about some of the dangers that teens encounter on the roads because she knows herself as being 17 years old. So yeah.
That's good. It's good to have a role model that they can automatically relate to. It's really neat. So I've seen some of our coverage over the years that you guys have been doing this, and it seems like the kids, they're learning a lot, but they're actually having a good time. What kind of response are you getting from them?
Well, that's why we're doing it again. Last year we had one of the biggest responses we've ever had. We hope that is the same this year, even more people. We had over 200 people attend last year, so we would love to see even higher numbers this year. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a serious message. This is a serious problem, and that's why we're trying to tackle this.
That's great. It really is.
Well, there's a new law, of course, regarding texting and driving, and what can you tell us about it exactly?
Well, it was a long road to get there. That's one thing, but it's very important that the state of Texas now has this statewide ban. We will see in the coming legislatures if they decide to strengthen the ban and put in more restrictions, but it was very important because, as we pointed out, distracted driving, one of the #1 causes for accidents. It's also not the only distraction, though, for teens. In fact, the #1 distraction in the car for teens is other passengers. A lot of parents don't know that. So one of the other things we're going to talk about is the graduated driver's license, which prohibits the amount of passengers you can have until you get your full driver's license at 18. And we'll talk to parents about that, educate them on how it works in Texas so that they know why it's so important for their child to only have a limited amount of people in the car.
That's really interesting because there was some common wisdom at one point that you wanted your kids to kind of travel in groups, so that they would keep each other out of trouble. Apparently that was not the common wisdom that we thought it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that over time we learn through studies. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety does several studies. During the summer we talk about the 100 deadliest days. Summertime is such a deadly time for teens, but it's year-round where we see these problems. It doesn't matter if they're in school or out of school, especially on weekends, especially after dark. Those dangers and risk for fatal accidents increase.
Well, I want to thank you for your efforts on behalf of our kids out there, because that benefits all of us who are out there on the road. When's the safety fair happening?
All right, so we're talking Saturday, November 4th. That's the first Saturday, and that will be at Lively Point Youth Center in Irving. And we thank you so much. The City of Irving, the Parks and Rec Department, and Patty Danko at the Youth Center have been so great to allow us to come back. She is. Yes, she is.
It truly is. Well, wonderful. So, folks, you got the details here. Circle Saturday, November 4th on your calendar so that you can send your kids over to the Teen Driver Safety Fair. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you.